This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. My name is Jeff Beals. I am your co-host and proud to be broadcasting live from the KFAB studios high above Underwood Avenue in beautiful downtown Dundee. This is the only show you will find in the entire metro area that talks about the growth and development of the metro area. We talk about construction. We talk about real estate development, economic development. We even talk about cool new businesses that are opening. You're going to enjoy the next hour. Now, I do have a little bit of bad news for you, and that is my co-host has the day off, so you are stuck with just me. But we'll make the best out of it, and we're going to start today by wishing you a happy College World Series weekend. This is perhaps my favorite time of year in Omaha, not just because I'm a baseball fan and not just because as a Grow Omaha guy, I love looking at all those out-of-state license plates and imagining how much they're spending on hotel rooms and restaurants and et cetera, but just because in reality, the city has such a great vibe this weekend and over the coming week. So hope you get down to the Charles Schwab Field, Omaha, and enjoy a little bit of the series. I know I'll be at a couple, maybe a handful of games down there. And even if you don't go to the games, it's a great time to just mill about and enjoy the whole entire atmosphere in North Downtown with the Fan Fest, all of that area around the Mattress Factory. And then, of course, the activity spills over into the Capital District, the riverfront parks, and the Old Market. Want to remind you, if you haven't already, to sign up for the Grow Omaha newsletter. We put it out every Thursday afternoon. It currently goes to about 21,000 subscribers. And get this, it's free. It'll always be free. We don't charge a subscription for the Grow Omaha newsletter. And besides not having to pay for it, you know what else is nice about that? You don't get a pop-up window every 3 stories you read asking you to log in again, even though you're already logged in. And you don't get a pop-up window asking you to log in, and sometimes it doesn't even log you in and doesn't work. None of that happens with the Grow Omaha newsletter because it is free. F-R-E-E, free. If you're not currently getting it, go to growomaha.com. There's a place to sign up there, or just send an email to news@growomaha.com. By the way, one other thing before we go into our news of the day that you need to know. We are on the precipice of introducing new services and expanded news coverage at Grow Omaha. I can't tell you the details yet, but know this. In the very short future, as in this month, we are going to be providing new Grow Omaha news to you every business day. We'll still have the newsletter on Thursday, and it'll grow and get bigger and better and be even more than it is. But we're going to also start offering you news every day. Keep that in the back of your head because very shortly you're going to start getting details about that. All right, without any further ado, it is time to go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. EagleMortgageCompany.com is where you can find them online, or you can stop by the office at 114th and Davenport. Either way, the thing you need to know about Eagle Mortgage, couple things. First of all, not a bank. So if you want to get the best loan solution for you and your unique circumstances, Eagle Mortgage, as a mortgage broker, can shop the market. Secondly, Holly Schneidewind and her team are famous for their customer service. They work with you, they talk with you. And thirdly, in a competitive housing market, which it still sometimes is, you want that pre-approval letter before you go house hunting, and Eagle Mortgage will take care of that for you. You can find them online at EagleMortgageCompany.com. Well, the Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial has opened at 11695 South 108th Street in Papillion. That's basically really close to Sumter Amphitheater and a little bit south of Papillion La Vista South High School. Beautiful place. It is free and open to the public. The grand opening was last week. It's very attractive when you go there. It's well done, well designed. They even have a restored UH-1 Huey helicopter, a Vietnam era helicopter that is mounted on a vertical pole, so it kind of looks like it's flying. Actually, real nice tribute and another feather in the metro area's cap. City of Omaha has launched a new website for the public to view progress of and participate in the development of the city's new master plan. Now, the current comprehensive master plan that the city operates under was completed back in 1997. Well, obviously, since 1997, Omaha has grown quite a bit. A lot of population growth, a lot of new land that's been developed, transformational development. And based on current projections, this might surprise you a little bit. The city of Omaha's population is expected to grow by more than 36% by the year 2050. 2050, not that far away. And to give you an idea about what that means, what would the population of the city of Omaha be in 2050 if it grows by 36%? 661,000 people just inside the city limits. And so the problem is, with all of that growth, we are running out of developable ground for the city of Omaha. I mean, the suburbs, they can develop for maybe forever. But the city of Omaha is pinned in by the Missouri River, by the Sarpy County line, by the Ponca Hills and the Washington County line to the north, and the Elkhorn River to the west. Can't really grow much beyond that. And so there's a lot of talk about using the acres and the square miles we already have more efficiently, I should say. So there's going to be a lot of focus on the urban core and getting more and more development, more dense development there. It's why the streetcar that we talk about so much is critically important. You know, even if you're a person that lives in, Millard area, Elkhorn area, Northwest Omaha, close to Bennington, and you think to yourself, I'm not going to use a streetcar, fine, no big deal. But it allows us to put more people per acre in the established older parts of Omaha, which builds the tax base, maintains the population, keeps the city and ultimately the whole metro area much healthier. In other news, the city has made significant progress this week on a long contemplated truck route through North Omaha. Here's the problem. There's currently a truck route that goes down Nicholas Street, which is right in the heart of Millwork Commons. That's the area a little bit north of Charles Schwab Field, where you have all of this cool redevelopment. In fact, earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday, if I remember correctly, I had a coffee meeting at 7:30 in the Ashton building. That's the main hub building of Millwork Commons. Lots of cool shops, restaurants, retail on the ground floor. They've got some high-tech offices upstairs. And you wouldn't believe how hustle and bustle it was. I mean, tech workers coming in to work and people going to the coffee shop for meetings. It's a great area. Problem is, you got a bunch of semi-trucks that rumble down the middle of the street multiple times an hour all day long. So we're working on this. City Council approved a contract with HDR to provide design services for the proposed road, a new road to be built called Enterprise Park Road that would extend from Locust Street to Ames Street over by Carter Lake, that would pull trucks over that way and then send them up to, maybe the Stores Expressway or the North Freeway or whatever, and get them out of that Millwork Commons area. The City Council approved an amendment to the Dockless Shared Scooter Program. That's a program that regulates electric scooter operators in Omaha. The amendment expands operating hours from just 5:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. to 24 hours a day, like Denny's and Perkins used to be. Well, Lime Scooter, Lime, Lime Scooter is the only electronic scooter operator in Omaha right now. And a representative from Lime testified that similar scheduling in cities like Chicago and Atlanta resulted in higher usage from off-hour workers. And the amendment also provides group rides where a single authorized user can rent 4 additional scooters. And a lot of people think, why do we care about these scooters? They're actually proving to be a nice form of alternative transportation in the urban core, and are kind of handy for getting people around. Plus, a lot of people enjoy them. You won't find me riding on one of those scooters because Well, maybe I'm just a chicken to try it for the first time. Well, the City Council has approved an agreement with the Nebraska Department of Transportation to establish a state safety and oversight program for the Omaha streetcar project. The city will pay the Nebraska Department of Transportation to handle this. They're going to have independent consultants establish this oversight organization. The state will not incur any costs for administering it. And this is required by the Federal Transit Administration anytime you have a rail transit system to ensure safety, just kind of part of the process of getting this new thing started. And finally, I want to direct you to the Grow Omaha Facebook page because our own Brad Williams has some amazing photographs he's posted in the last several days. One of them is a construction progress photo of the Mutual of Omaha Tower downtown, and you can see that they're working on the 16th floor of the concrete shear tower, which is the spine of the future building. Another one you might want to notice, really cool construction photograph of the central flagship library under construction on the southwest corner of 72nd and Dodge. That's all topped out and coming along rather nicely. Well, that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour and get this. We're going to talk more about Eagle Mortgage. Well, we're going to have Holly Schneidewind in. She is the owner and operator of Eagle Mortgage, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about the housing market, what's going on with home loans. We know a lot of listeners are thinking about buying a new house or in the process of buying a new house or just kind of like to keep up with the market. You're going to like this. You're going to enjoy listening to Holly. But most of all, stay with us. You are part of the Grow Omaha show, which is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Okay, so that's 11:22. You got to keep track of all this.
And then Jeff, are you able to sit back a little bit more than you were, just so I can
kind of do an extendo. Don't want to break this one. Okay. All right, Holly, are you ready? Okay, so I have these Q&A. This is falling apart.
Yes.
Are we talking about this?
You know what? You can talk about whatever you want.
Okay.
So you want to, you pick one, I'm sure.
Okay. I think we'll do like start general and chat stuff, and then we'll get more into the specifics.
Okay.
All good? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a second segment so we can figure out something.
And we can work that into somewhere, but people I think right now are, I'm just going to rent.
Sure.
Well, that might not be the best idea. So.
And then what?
I'm going to rent, so why not buy? Is it better to rent to buy? I think that's kind of what I'm hearing now. People are just...
Okay, so maybe do this in the second segment?
That's fine.
Okay. Alrighty.
Not a whole lot to talk about other than just the fact of where the trends are going, what they think trends are doing.
Okay. Alrighty. Are we ready?
Yep.
Let me restart this. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals at your service. Trenton Magid has the weekend off. We are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. What's Cheer Athletics? Well, it's the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. And if you're not familiar with the concept of all-star cheer, know this. It is generally the most respected, most popular form of competitive cheer. Competitive cheer is definitely a sport. The young people who participate in it learn a great deal of communication, leadership, and competition skills, in addition to becoming very good at something and very physically fit. The Omaha location of Cheer Athletics is located just southwest of Highways 50 and 370 in Papillion. If you want to learn more about it, just go to caomaha.com. That's Cheer Athletics, caomaha.com. We have with us today Holly Schneidewind, good friend of the show, one of our sponsors, and the owner of Eagle Mortgage. Good morning, Holly. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's good to have you back on the show, and I'm just going to start big and broad right now, and we still hear about higher interest rates, and we know inflation has been an issue, but yet I'm also hearing things like houses are moving fast, and a lot of people are still moving. Give us the 30,000 foot view of the market right now.
So I think that we're a little insulated in Omaha. Of course, everybody, I think, kind of hears that here in the Midwest. Yes, the market has been a little strange over the last year or two. They are still moving fast. If you ask somebody out there who's trying to find a home, first-time home buyer, what was it when you bought your first home? Maybe it was 130,000, 50,000.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, even sometimes,
I think it was
depending on who we're talking to.
I think it was like 127 back in the 90s.
Isn't that crazy? Actually, my first one was probably 75,000, which is crazy. So now you're talking about these first-time home buyers and people out there. They're spending 200 to 250 on their first home. It is a little crazy. So market, I think, is softening up a little bit. Although, like I said, we're in the Midwest. So I have a group that I belong to, and they take a survey. And this is from the mortgage point of view, the lender point of view, not the real estate agent point of view. But anyways, they seem to think that it's maybe softening up a little bit around the country. I just don't think we're seeing a ton of that here. I still think we're low inventory. Houses are still going at or above price, depending upon that price range. So,
well, and sometimes I hear from some of the residential real estate agents that I know that they basically said the exact same thing that you did. And one of the questions I asked them, are you still seeing competitive situations? And they say sometimes
definitely
quite competitive.
Oh gosh, I have a couple right now. Let's see here. One of them offered an appraisal gap, which means we will pay top dollar, and then we will actually pay $10,000. I think this one was $10,000 over the appraised value between what we call the gap. So if it appraised low. Mm-hmm. So they're willing to pay above the appraised value just to get that house.
Just to get the house.
Another one paid, they called an escalation clause. So they agreed to pay $10,000 above any at the highest offer that would come in. Now, of course, if it didn't appraise on that one, and it did, it's crazy because we closed that one already. So yes, it is still happening out there. And that's why, whether it's Eagle Mortgage or somebody else, work with a good mortgage person and get prepared. And I think maybe that's, get your pre-approval, know what you're getting into. I get people that are like, well, I found a house, but now I need the letter. Sometimes it's like, okay, little opposite of what we normally like to have you work, but okay. So we can work pretty fast. People, how long does that take? I mean, we can get a pre-approval done in minutes, depending upon the situation, completing an application, but yeah.
Well, and we must be seeing some really nice population growth in the metro area right now, because for the last few years, it seems like, at least through my eyes, that we are building new houses like crazy. And you also have seen apartments being built like crazy. And it's my understanding that apartment occupancy in the metro area is still well up into the mid to high 90s. So there must be a lot of people coming in. And I can't imagine that tornado, which destroyed about 100 houses, helped either, because that sets us back a little bit.
Right. Yeah. They've got to find housing, right? Some temporary, and the process to rebuild is probably going to take a bit to get there. I just got done having coffee with somebody. Anyways, they were talking about his insurance agent. His clients are having problems. Well, they have 2 dogs, house destroyed in the tornado. Now they're having a problem trying to find suitable housing for them. So that's a little different, I guess, but still, yeah. And then to go to rent and the prices of what somebody's going to pay right now, yeah, I feel for them. Glad I am not in that situation.
Yeah, you and me
have
both.
To do that. I've got a daughter now, just graduated. She's at home now. Well, we're like, save some money, but we prefer not to rent. So that's our take on it, and that's what I do. We help build wealth through real estate. And I'm not on the sales side of it, but I'm on the loan side. So one loan at a time, we help with that process.
Well, I'm going to ask you in the next segment some questions about renting versus buying. But for now, let's say that some of our listeners are thinking about entering the house hunting adventure. How's the process work once they contact you? Getting the pre-approval and all that sort of thing.
You know what? We'll answer any question we can. The easiest way to get started would be to do that online application. If people don't want to do it online, it's, a phone call and I can take it. My staff can take that application. The other place then would be a phone call after the application. That's the big part where we can go over numbers, ask questions. What do you want to be? Where do you want your budget to be? What are you looking for in a payment? Okay, well, fine. Maybe you've told me you want that payment, but have you been out looking at houses and what price range? So we're trying to marry those two things together. Is it realistically what you want to buy going to get you to your budget? Some people have no idea.
So as a mortgage broker, you work with more than just one bank. How many are we talking about? Is it like a handful? Is it like 10,000?
No. Good Lord. I could not keep track of that. So we work with, you know what? I probably have 10 lenders. For the most part, I will tell you of that, it's probably half of them is we prefer to work with. You know, each do similar things. Some of them do things a little differently than others. So we kind of know based upon somebody's situation, where do we take them? What do we need to get? Can I get some extra grant money for somebody that somebody else and lender doesn't have? You know, we can structure a husband and wife. Maybe we only use one income so that I can get a better rate, so there's all kinds of different. You just work with the loan company who is out there. I don't know everything. In the 31 years that I've been doing this, I don't know everything, but I know a lot. And I know maybe what questions to ask and where to go find the answers.
Well, I imagine it's kind of interesting or challenging when, you know, maybe one spouse has a traditional job and the other one is self-employed, or maybe one has a good traditional job and the other one recently is unemployed.
Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of complicated things.
It is definitely. And I'm now right now, like I said, my daughter, she's graduated and now I think going to work herself into my business or mortgage loan originator. Oh my gosh, try to explain to a 21-year-old. It's just so I say that. But yes, I think we need more new people in our industry, you know, and in the mortgage world and lending. And I would love to see her figure it out. But I just have to remember where I came from 31 years ago too. What's a mortgage? Okay.
And personally, I know your daughter and she's a smart kid, but I imagine with some of the stuff, it's hard for her eyes not to glaze over as you're telling her this.
Yeah, she's in the thick of it right now, trying to take her test. She'll bring me those questions. What's this? And I'm going to try to explain it to her. Yeah.
We're talking with Holly Schneidewind, owner of Eagle Mortgage, a company here in Omaha. Holly, give us an idea how mortgage brokers and realtors cooperate and work together to make these deals close.
So it's all a big process. Obviously, if you want to you need a pre-approval. So first of all, it's the pre-approval, and any realtor that you're going to work with is basically going to ask, have you been pre-approved? They're not going to go show you houses if you don't have that piece of paper or that knowledge that you can buy a house and in what price range. Then working with a good realtor to get your offer accepted. That's the next piece, because they have to be able to listen. What does the borrower want? Where do we need to be? What price range? So we work as a team to get you through the process. You know, free pre-approval. Then you get out looking with the real estate agent. At that point, then we're making sure the offer's written up the right way. What did I tell you? Making sure the realtor knows. Do you need seller credits? You know, what kind of stuff are you looking for? What kind of financing? Does that house take that financing? Will that house pass through the loan process? So there's more moving pieces than I think people think. We're there to work as a team to put it together for our customers, for the buyer, so that they're not so stressed during this process. It's not a stress-free process for most people, but we try to make it. I get it. It's paperwork, and people do look at me like, oh my gosh, how much more stuff do you need? Well, I need your pay stub. I need to prove you still work there. Don't quit your job. Don't take out new debt. You know, we tell them all kinds of stuff. They don't always listen, but we try.
Yeah, and listen to that last piece of advice, folks. Don't take out new debt after you've started the lending process.
No, I mean, especially if they'll do rechecks sort of in the background. And if we find all of a sudden we get a credit inquiry, and then we have to go back and it's the day before closing and you're like, are you kidding me? So yeah, we have dealt with that, do it, have had to ask, figure out what'd you do, what'd you buy, what'd you inquire, and then we have to verify it. So, well,
we're going to break for our middle of the show news break, but we're going to have Holly stay with us, because when we come back, we'll talk to her about the differences between buying and renting. Is one better? Is that changing? So stay with us for that. We also have the Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week on the docket. You're listening to Grow Omaha. I'm Jeff Beals. Trenton Magid has the weekend off. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, and we'll be back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. All right. So let's do those two segments are almost identical. And so, let me get my calculator out here. I don't do math.
Neither do I.
You're a mortgage bro.
That's what a calculator's for.
And thank God for them.
Yes.
All righty. Shall we just tear right back into it?
Yep.
All of the Uncut listeners are getting ripped off because they normally get several minutes of inappropriate comments from Trenton, but none of that's happening this week.
I'm not
Okay.
taking over his spot.
I don't blame you.
Always a little too polite for that role. Okay, are we ready? Estamos listos? Reset. And we're out here. 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. I'm Jeff Beals. My co-host, Trenton Magid, has the weekend off. We do encourage you, though, to keep Dingman's Collision Center handy on your... I don't know. I was going to say Rolodex, but we don't have those. You know, your electronic version of your Rolodex. You want to keep Dingman's Collision Center handy there. We hope you don't need them, but periodically you will. That's just life if you drive a lot. You get a scrape, a bump, or a bruise on your car, sometimes a major accident. But Dingman's will help you with all of that. They have 4 metro area locations. Every one of them is outstanding. Doesn't matter whether you go 120th and Maple, downtown Papillion, Saddle Creek in the Midtown area, or 144th and Industrial Road. They'll take good care of you. Both Trenton and I have been customers of Dingman's for many, many years and can personally attest to the quality workmanship and the outstanding customer service. All right, it's time for your commercial real estate development Spotlight of the Week. It's brought to you by Noddle Companies, as it always is. Jay Noddle and his team over there at Noddle Companies really have put themselves in a position to be called Omaha's most respected real estate developer. And they don't just do Omaha, they're all over the place, multiple states. But here in town, they have Exarban Village, River's Edge on the Missouri River, the Builders District in North Downtown, Steel Ridge in the Gretna Papillion area. They're famous for building headquarters buildings like the not terribly old HDR that was only completed a few years ago in Exarban Village, the also fairly new Valmont headquarters in Heartwood Preserve. But the news today comes out of the Builders District. That's the area of North Downtown just west of Charles Schwab Field. And the mass timber building that Noddle Companies has built is pretty much wrapping up. I was down there about a week ago, and I walked around the perimeter. You can go in and you can look inside the windows, and you truly do see those exposed timber vertical supports. It makes for a beautiful office setting. Landscaping outside the building is awesome. It is directly across the street or south of Kiewit's global headquarters in that area. And then, of course, right now, just to the east of that, College World Series time. So if you're down for the CWS and you are a Grow Omaha aficionado who enjoys looking at cool new buildings, walk over to 1501 Mike Fahey and take a look at that new mass timber building from Noddle Companies. If you want to learn more about them, just go to noddlecompanies.com. We have Holly Schneidewind with us today. She is the head of Eagle Morgage and one of our sponsors here on Grow Omaha. And Holly, I want to talk to you today in this next segment a little bit about renting versus buying. And, we're hearing that some people are looking at renting now because of the economy or whatever. And I mentioned in the last segment that we have a very high occupancy rate in apartment properties here in Omaha. But you're in the mortgage business. You help people buy houses. What do you think?
So I'm not sure. Okay, my opinion, and obviously, you know what, everybody can probably already guess, it's buy versus rent. And now I think that depends upon, obviously, there's factors, but we have tools and we can help people to show them why it would be better to buy versus rent. I did an analysis, and actually, I don't think I sent that to you ahead of time, Jeff, but when we go through and do a buy versus rent scenario, then over a 9-year period, and honestly, the scenario that was run was out of a system I used, but it was probably a $500,000 house, okay? So not everybody's going to have the same results. It's not going to end up the same every time we run those numbers. But over a 9-year period, as long as somebody was staying in that house longer than 2 years, the outcome was going to be better to buy in the long haul. So on the scenario that I did and have in front of me, actually showed that the net result, meaning the net equity somebody's going to build over that 9-year period, and that's probably, how long were you in your first house?
I think it was 5. Yeah.
5 years. So I think that average maybe is 7. I was going to say 7 to 9 or 5 to 9. So we'll just say the average is 7. But even on a 9-year period, the net result in this example was over $195,000 somebody would walk away with versus renting. And that takes into account investing the money you would have used to buy the house, rent increases, tax increases. So it takes account increases in both areas. So it's not just a straight shot comparison. But yes, I think it's better to buy than rent. I mean, what's the American dream?
Owning a house.
Owning a house. Maybe being a business owner. I don't know. I don't know how many entrepreneurs there are, but yeah, having your own house and having that equity.
So I would guess there are a lot of people living in rental units right now that love the idea, or at least like the idea of owning a house. And there are a couple things holding them back. One could be fear of the unknown. It's an intimidating process if you've never purchased a house before. Another thing that could make them hesitate is they might think they need to build up more money than perhaps they do.
True.
And then perhaps another thing, Holly, could be all they hear about are these high interest rates and how the price of houses are going up. Given all that, what's the counter argument for those folks? What's the reality if I'm in a rental unit? I don't want to be anymore, but I'm afraid or feel like I'm not ready.
Okay, well, number one, we're going to dispel the myth that you need to have a 20% down payment. Yeah, that has been a thing of the past a long time ago. So FHA loans were created for a lower down payment option so that people could get into houses. Because obviously conventional was 50% down, maybe a long time ago, 20% down. And then the FHA, then the creation of the PMI, which is that private mortgage insurance that lenders would be insured with homeowners, home buyers that were putting less than 20% down. It's not a bad thing. I mean, you got to start somewhere, get into that property. And I did read something here. Should I buy instead of rent? Or somebody, if they give me the answer. So here's what it was. In 1971, the interest rate for a mortgage was 7.33. Okay, let's say it's similar to these times right now. If you waited for interest rates to go down, you wouldn't have purchased a home until 1993. You would have rented for 22 years waiting for those rates to go down. Meanwhile, the value of real estate quadrupled. I'm not sure we have gone through 7 years, I can't remember exact numbers, but 7 years of down market in housing of the past 50 years. So imagine that. That's why we say, build your equity. Don't pay somebody else's mortgage. I mean, I guess if I own real estate and have rental properties, I would love you as a renter, right? But we always say you can date your rate, marry your house. And even then you can move around. But, the chances are you're going to buy a house, hold it for a while. We've had our starter homes, and now we've been in our last home since we figured the kids were in school. And I don't know, maybe eventually we'll downsize, but.
And we're in the exact same spot, had the starter house and then the long-term family house, and then who knows what comes next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we need those houses that are, like you said, they're in the apartment. They don't want to deal with the management, the stuff happening in the house. There's always going to be a repair. I mean, that's just reality in a house. So, maybe we're going to see more condos around here or townhomes, and maybe we're seeing some of that already, so that people don't feel like that. I think we need some more of those in affordable housing. That's
something that could be a topic for another interview, affordable housing and the move to condos and townhomes, because I agree with you. That would be a great thing for the future of Omaha. But for today, we're about out of time. But Holly Schneidewind, if someone wants to work with Eagle Mortgage or just kind of talk, what do they do?
They can inquire, send me an email. Call is probably the best thing, but if you don't like to do that, you can always send an email to introduce yourself, and then eventually it's a conversation. Come in the office, stop by, We're there usually 9 to 4. We're a smaller office, so sometimes we're out at a meeting or a closing. But yeah, call us 402-397-7180.
And the office is at 114th in Davenport, and the website is eaglemortgagecompany.com. Yeah. Holly Schneidewind, thanks for joining us this morning and the information, and also thanks for being such a long-time loyal sponsor of Grow Omaha.
It has been a pleasure this morning. Thanks, Jeff.
Holly Schneidewind from Eagle Mortgage. We're going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it will be time for the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. I'm looking at the list, and there's a lot on it. You don't want to miss any of it. You're listening to Grow Omaha. Trenton Magid has the weekend off, but I'm here. Jeff Beals has got you covered, and we're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, and we'll be back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Okay. Ooh, that almost nailed it perfectly. 10 minutes. All right, where's my pen? Okay. Mark this.
Do you ever edit your guests?
We try not to. Yeah. Oh, you mean like if we record like this?
Yeah.
We try to do, if we do this, we try to do record as live, kind of like like those late night TV shows. I think they record at 5 or 6 in the evening, but they record as if they're live. So we've always tried to do that. I suppose like if someone said something diabolical, we can cut that
or
out.
you're like, yeah, that was dumb. We're gonna
or something totally wrong or whatever. So.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
I will let
Holly,
you.
thank you so much.
Need me, right?
Yeah. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You on your way
You're
out?
almost done. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Pleasure seeing you again.
Well, it's nice to see you.
You as well.
I think if you just take that long hallway down, you'll
The
be
stairs.
close to the area where the stairs are. So.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you so
you.
much. We'll see you soon.
Good luck in baseball.
Thank you.
You don't, but watching.
Yeah. Good luck that night of heat stroke.
I'll be like 93 today.
I know, and probably be even hotter where we're going. Okay, so Chris, let me see what we are doing for time, so I know how to plan this.
Breezing right through this one.
What's that?
Breezing right through this one.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 7.5 minutes for the later, and that's actually better than it sometimes is.
Yeah, sometimes you got like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, sometimes really tight.
Wow, how to fit that in?
Okay, so we have, I don't need this, don't need this, need this, need this, okay, and need this. Don't need that, okay. Okay, we're still rolling, and we've got to go, I'm gonna do a countdown actually on this one, since we know exactly what it has to be. Let me get my clock going, timer. We're gonna go 7 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. 7 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay. Here goes. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals is here with you in the KFAB studio. My co-host Trenton Magid has the weekend off. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center along with Cheer Athletics. And it's time for our Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. This is when we talk about a lot of things in a short period of time. And thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. They are a full-service Class A general contractor based right here in Omaha, but they do work throughout Nebraska and western Iowa. Great team. That's one of the things that I'm so impressed with when it comes to Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Dave Kreitzer has put together this group of superintendents, project administrators, managers, carpenters, laborers, so many other people that just do such good work. It's about craftsmanship there and about taking care of their clients. They work in healthcare, retail, office, education, religious, industrial, even do a lot of restaurants and that sort of thing. Sometimes you'll see Perkins Kreitzer Construction listed as PC Construction. Same deal, same company, PC Construction, just short for Perkins Kreitzer Construction. All right, let's get into our content here today. First of all, the Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium has reopened its Hubbard Orangutan Forest. It opened yesterday at 11 a.m. And the reopening includes access to the elevator building, which takes guests to the renovated exhibit and the Hubbard Gorilla Valley. Can't wait to go see that. I am told it looks amazing. Bellevue's expansive new $60 million water park development officially announced its name. It's going to be called Bellevue Bay Indoor Water Park. This is a 100,000 square foot facility. It's going to be open year round and will have a retractable roof along with attached hotels, retail stores. I know for a fact they are chasing a lot of entertainment-oriented businesses, kind of almost like tourist-style businesses. They're really getting to go into that water park. It will, when it opens, be on the southwest corner of highways 75 and 34 on the south side of Bellevue. The Denny's restaurant location at 3509 South 84th Street officially reopened this week. The diner chain, located just off of 84th and Interstate 80, had been temporarily closed due to a fire several months ago, but it is now open. Swing 365 Bennington opened this week. It is located at 15450 Ida Street, so call it 154th and Ida Street. It's next to the Rack Wine and Spirits. This is a golf simulator and swing suite, which is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They have another one of these in town, and basically you can become a member and you schedule your time, and it's a small building, but you go in and you swing your golf club, and it's all simulated, and maybe you become a better golfer. Well, the signage has gone up for Lucy's. That's a new cocktail bar and recreation center at 97th and Q Street, just off of 96th and Q Street, right? That same area. The business is described as a premier gaming experience featuring games of skill, upscale snacks, and custom drink specials. Jay's Smokehouse, a family-owned barbecue restaurant, is moving to 4725 South 96th Street. They're going to be taking over the former Big Way Chicken and Catfish restaurant space. Jay's will stay open at their Papillion location, which is currently at 230 West Lincoln Street, until their soft opening at the new location on July 1st. Big Way's last day is going to be June 29th. The Old Market was ranked number 72 on datingadvice.com's list of the top 150 most romantic alfresco dining spots in America for 2024, to which I say BS. It should be far higher than number 72. And I say this as a guy who does a lot of traveling and appreciates his romantic al fresco dining options. Old Market, number 72. You can trash that survey. They underranked us. Construction has started on Chase Bank, a Chase Bank branch, I should say, a new building at 138th and Maple. It'll be just over 3,200 square feet, and it'll be east of an existing Burger King building. Chase is building branches all over Omaha. In fact, they have another one that is going to be built in Papillion along 72nd Street at the Shops of Market Point. But both Chase and Bank of America building like crazy. In fact, as we've already announced in a previous show, Bank of America, B of A as some people call them, bunch of new locations in town. They're actually going to tear down the former Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant building at 44th and Dodge near the Med Center and build a bank location there as well. So for some reason, the big national banks are all of a sudden popping up in Omaha. Good Life Sports Bar has leased the former Addie's Sports Bar space, and this is the one at 141st and S Street, S as in Sam, in Millard. It's a 5,800 square foot space, but basically the former Addie's in Old Millard going to be Good Life Sports Bar. Smash Park has opened in La Vista. Smash Park is the indoor-outdoor bar, restaurant, entertainment center, kind of famous for pickleball, but they have a lot of other sports and games. The food's really good. It's out of Des Moines, Iowa. I went to the original one in Des Moines, Iowa a couple years ago. Fun place. I really enjoyed it. So you'll have to check out that new Smash Park in La Vista near Cabela's and Embassy Suites. Clio has opened in the former Wheatfield space at the old market right at the corner of 12th and Howard. It is another concept from Flagship Restaurant Group and serves Mediterranean cuisine. Rumor has it that Grow Omaha will be writing a review about Clio in the next several weeks. And finally, congratulations to Omaha-based Scooters Coffee for opening its 800th location nationwide. Scooters started right here in Omaha, headquartered in Miracle Hills here in Omaha. 800th location just opened in Louisville, Kentucky, and they're actively looking to add more. Well, that's it for this week, and that is your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. Hope everyone has a great week. I'm Jeff Beals. As I said, Trenton has the week off, but we'll welcome him back soon. The show's been brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction, Cheer Athletics, and Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.